Those hoodies are so clean. Those hoodies.
Yeah.
So clean. I got to talk to Mo. But anyway,
Yeah.
more on that later.
I was told I wasn't allowed one.
What?
I
Okay,
know.
we'll get to the bottom of that. I'm pretty sure.
We'll figure
I'm pretty sure there's a
out.
clause in your contract guaranteeing you
Yeah.
merchandise, so don't worry about that. Okay, we just heard their favorite units. Agree, disagree with some of those.
Boring. I think they're all really boring. No,
This is the best unit in the metagame. Whatever, dude.
I remember actually watching Monty's stream when he figured out that he loved Defector, because he was just going Defector in the early game all the time. And he's like, yeah, dude, 2-star Defector broken in the early game. And I was like, Monty, it's not. But he made it work, and I agree. Like, a lot of the units that they chose are just like good units, right?
Yeah.
You heard a lot of Hell Knight because people love the Knight synergy, and Hell Knight is like the Glacier tank carry. So yeah, I think Hell Knight's a good unit, but Fallen Witch is just cool, dude. Fallen Witch was just a cool
I
unit.
agree.
Well, guys, guess what? It's time to get into game 2. Before we do, I'm going to hand it off to you. But we're going to hear from Yeken and his mentality coming into the Auto Chess Invitational.
I think when begin the match, I always think about the best combination about my play style. It's about Throne Knight or Dragon Mage or Assassin or Warrior Beast. So I decided about after 3 rounds, you will need to look around about your enemies, what they will play. If they play the same as you must change another style. That's about my experience.
Yekon was talking about Beast Warrior there, and he was saying how he likes Beast Warrior, but if he gets to round 4 and someone else is doing it, he changes. I'm not sure if I fully quite agree with
He
this
said
sort of...
something about assassins too. I'm still trying to figure out what he said, but it was.
We've seen one assassin. We've seen one assassin player this entire tournament so far, and it didn't go particularly well for him. I don't think assassins are in a good spot.
No.
In the
Apparently, he
current
wants to
meta.
be, according to the studio, he apparently wants to be flexible, which I can endorse.
Yes, I can endorse being flexible. That's absolutely 100% true. And you can see Yekwen's actually picked up the Wind Ranger, another one of those early units that's just good for any kind of compositions.
Jin says that early God of War 2 super strong unit to start with also is super great going to the late game. This is actually kind of the final top 3 here from the last game, facing each other, Tutu and Jin. So they're...
I gotta be. I'm gonna give credit to Chuck here. Chuck told us his favorite unit was Hell Knight. He's on brand.
Yep.
With the Hell Knight icon.
Yep, that's
so
true.
He's playing on brand
true.
with his favorite unit.
Let's see if he also can find one, as Hell Knight's super good in all stages of the game, really. That's really a testament of a good unit, that when you buy it early, it's good on its own. Like, it deals tons of damage. It's great to upgrade to 2-star, and even great to upgrade to 3-star, then you probably have a good unit on your hands.
So Chuck actually finds himself a 2-star Tusk champion. He's actually got the God bonus activated, because again, like you said, running with the mechs, not running with the full goblins.
Yep.
Going to sell off a couple of items. It actually, actually goes up to 5.
I like this, actually, because he did have a major upgrade with that Swordman. Still not breaking the God bonus and getting that 3 warrior front line. It could be nice to propel him into a long win streak here.
Yeah, I think he'd like to get a 2-star God of War. He'd like to get a 2-star Heaven Bomber to secure that. But we'll see what happens. He's in a good spot right now.
I agree. Yeah, especially since he could really read the lobby and see that nobody else went up to level 5. And that if you go up to 5, then you're almost for sure going to win your round, which is nice if you want to push for a win streak. Chuck, he were 6th and 3rd, right? Is that correct?
6th and 3rd, yes.
So he needs like some kind of a middle finish here to make it into the top 4.
No, because there are so many players right now at 10 to 11 points.
Oh, yeah,
he
you're
basically needs 1st or 2nd to guarantee himself.
Math, man.
We are in a lobby where we know that Max and we know that Angel or Devil are currently out.
Yeah, they're out.
But everybody else is still in. So
yeah, it's very concentrated points in the top 6. Yeah, you're right.
The only person that's in a really comfortable position, I think, is it Bomber? No, not Bomberon. It was Jinsu, who's at 13 points right now. So yeah, he's the only player that's in a super comfortable position where he could maybe come 4th or 5th and still manage to sneak into the top 4. So we're in a tense lobby, my friends. We're in a tense lobby.
For sure. Let's have a look at the loose streakers, see what they're working with. If there are in the loose streaker, Tutu and Bruce have lost 3 rounds in a row. That's usually a testament to a kind of a loose streak here in the early game. What you want to do is you want to continuously lose your round. Try to not lose as much HP while doing it, preferably with a priest bonus, so you take 20% less damage. And you want to hit those interest points. That is the most important thing for you to do, because you want to get up to 50 gold fast, and then you want to turn the corner between round 13 to 15.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be hitting that 50 gold barrier around that point. We'll see a couple of people are hitting that all-important, and I call this like my basic golden rule. If you get to 10 gold by round 7 and you're middling and you're not like lose streaking or win streaking, you can usually generate a good economy by the mid game. So it's like it's like my golden rule when I come into that sort of situation. We'll see how this goes down. It looks like Bruce will just sneak. He'll sneak by in this round here.
That was close. Yeah, Bruce is a little bit in the middling point here. He definitely needs to hit his interest points to stay relevant for the economy, much like you mentioned, as he will not have the backing of a good win streak or a good lose streak. That is a 2-star Venom. This is very early Venom. A unit that has fallen off a little bit with the new dragon being added. So interesting to see that again.
I would still take it in Dragon Knight comps like we saw with Chuck in the first game. It is also a very specific counter to things like Glacier Knight, because you can 4 times out of 5 guarantee that it's going to hit the Lightblade Knight, because it usually this is the literal patch notes. 80% of the time it targets the unit with the fastest attack speed.
Otherwise
20% of the time it's just completely random.
It's an interesting way to decrease the efficiency of a unit. However, we're not going to delve into that, but I want to say something about Venom that is interesting. With all this Beast Warrior and kind of aggressive play, could you move into, as I said, 3 Warrior, 3 Mages, 3 Mages, 3 Warriors, and 3 Dragons? And if you do that, Venom is now uncontested, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's something you can do, especially if you get an early 2-star Venom. Maybe just do that instead.
Venom also, most people kind of forget, deals magic damage.
Did I say Fallen Witcher? It is a Fallen Witcher 2 again.
This is another Fallen Witcher 2. This is now Jitsu.
There's so much things happening in our games. I'm so excited. This is so good.
Max has gone... I don't know, Max. I thought Max had a good comp.
No, he's loose streaking.
No, but didn't he have like a load of 2-star goblins?
He does have a 2-star goblin on the bench. I might have had him at some point in the game.
Maybe.
A little surprised that he keeps so many units on the bench when he's loose streaking. I think you want to get to 50 gold as fast as possible.
Maybe it was Angel or Devil that had all the 2-star goblins. Yeah, it was Angel.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at Shinso's comp again. He does have that. I'm also a little biased towards Fallen Witcher. I'll agree with you. What do you think he's going to do from here? He has the 3 Warrior frontline, which I really like with the synergy. And you probably want to keep that, but maybe transition into other type units. I really like the Marine buff also with Fallen Witcher. The thing you're most scared about is him getting bursted down. And it's going to be the major source of damage, so having that extra magic resistance is also important.
I think if you want to make a Fallen Witcher build work, there are 2 compositions that it works quite well in. It's the Warrior one that you saw from Tutu previously, and there is a... This is going to be a bit of an old school shout out. This is from the previous mod version of this game, a guy called Ace of Spades.
Right.
He made a build which is basically feathered Fallen Witcher. So you run 6 feathered with Razorclaw Beast, Fallen Witcher, with you have Poisonous Worm in there for the Warlock bonus.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's nice.
I used to call this my off-meta build that I ran in like Season 1. It is pretty strong, but unfortunately we just have seen Feathered fall off a little bit, so I think if you're going to run Fallen Witcher, it has to be in the Warrior version right now, because Feathered are just not as good.
If there's something I like doing by playing a bunch of different auto battlers, like auto battlers for life, at least for me, is that I like comparing different auto battlers with each other. And one build that has been popular, at least in Dota Unlords, is actually running 6 feathered with Fallen Witcher.
That was the build that was that's the one that Ace of Spades made popular.
Oh right, yeah.
So
that was a thing a long time
ago. It was popular from the mod version of the Auto Chess. So
okay, well there you go.
It's it definitely was a very strong build that you can still run Fallen Witcher in, but because Feathered had been nerfed, it's not so good. That's
also it's not in the best place in the metagame. But then again, we've seen a lot of more physical comps being
Yeah,
playable.
but the
so
problem is we're also seeing a lot of hunters.
yeah, that's true.
Which
does have piercing
yeah,
through
exactly,
the evasion,
exactly.
so they are a little bit better against those feathered evasive units. Okay, so Boomerang still keeping with that 2-star Venom. His comp is a little bit of a mishmash here. He has the Shaman bonus, he has the Beast bonus, he has 3 Warriors, so he does have a lot of different synergies, but his comp is something we don't have ever seen before, I guess. Is this gonna be the start of maybe a God Mage build? I assume so.
I think right now he's just gone, I like 2-star units.
Yeah.
And then maybe later he's going to try and transition into something else, right?
Yeah, because he can sell a lot of his stuff that he like the Defector. He can
sell
sell
for cost neutral and
exactly
yeah.
same with the Storm Shaman, etc. And but it is nice with the Werewolf frontline if you do 3 Warriors with Dragon Mages, because that does enable the 4 humans for that silence, which can be super crucial if you play against a ton of other mage players also. Tutor here playing with the Priest Shield. Let's have a look at the levels here, level and XP. We have Bruce being the only player at level 5, as I say that. He goes up to 6. Half of the players of the lobby has poured another 5 gold into the level. Probably just a testament to them being over the interest mark, over 50 gold at this point. So they might as well, if they want to save their APM for later when they roll all the way up, or when they press that level button, I should say, to the next stage.
See, this is Bruce that we're keeping an eye on right now. He's also kind of running a warrior build with just a Dwarven Sniper at the back. I actually quite like Dwarf Sniper as a one-off in a composition if you don't have anything better. He's good at taking down the weak targets. Agree.
It's similar to Flaming Wizard in that way, that it does have a strong nuke in the early game. And especially if you have some extra attack speed, it could really help him.
Having a look at everyone's economy right now, you can see that everybody apart from Boomerang and Chuck are right now in a really comfortable economy spot. Chuck going for apparently going for Dragon Mages with a God of War frontline, it looks like. He even has the God bonus ready to go too.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. That was a little expected since he already has the Warriors here in the front line for Chuck. Does have the Hammer Bomber still.
Like a rough spot to go from if you're Chuck, though. I don't think you've got a particularly strong platform to run into a mage build with right now.
Yeah, I mean, God of War is good and all, but Touch Champion not a perfect unit for the front line. You could change that Heaven Bomber into another warrior like Pirate Captain, and then if you find the Dragon Knight, I think you have a good springboard to go into Dragon Mages with a war front line. But it's a lot of ways off, and he also hasn't had a strong win streak, nor has he had a strong lose streak. So his economy is not going to be the best in this game either.
No, but he will be up to 50 gold just in time for the Wolf round. But the problem is that I'm a little bit concerned that he won't beat the Wolf round with his current composition. It'll be a bit touch and go.
Well, let's do have a look at Chuck and see how he does at this. It's also going to be interesting to see how Max does at this round, because he does have a 9-round lose streak, so it's a long lose streak, which means he's usually pretty weak at this point.
Yeah, he hasn't got a particularly strong
composition. It does find the Razor Claw, though. That is really going to help against the Wolf round. That's a big deal. Does give him a lot of big extra tank ability, and also the Beast bonus.
He's actually at level 7 though, so usually you can run. I mean, you have to run something god awful if you're trying to lose the Wolf round at level 7, and he has got a lot of 2 stars in his comp, so he should be perfectly fine here.
I think so also, and especially has 8 units in play with that earlier Razor Claw. Also already at 15, so he's fine. Let's have a look at Chuck and see how he's doing at the Wolf round.
I think
does have a good position on his God of War, though. I think there's going to be enough with the Heaven Bomber going off possibly another time.
He should be able to sneak it. He should be able to sneak it.
Yeah, because all the rockets going to hit this lone wolf. It is close, but Chuck does it. Yeah, nice position on God of War here. True expression of this really good player that we all thought was going to do well in this tournament.
Yeah, he had a really good performance in the North American qualifiers. Dragon Mage is a strong build, so if Chuck can make it work, he'll be in a good spot. There is someone else also going Dragons, though, I believe I saw earlier. We saw another Dragon player. It is Boomerang, but he's got Dragon Warrior right now. I'm wondering whether he's going to look to transition out of Dragon Warrior into Dragon Mage eventually. But he has already got a Dragon Knight on the field, you see, so that's something that Chuck is going to have to contend with.
Right. Yeah, Boomerang also already only being level 6 at this point is going to have a hard time getting another synergy. But I think as soon as he goes up to 7, he's going to add those extra mages and cut one of the warrior front lines. And then maybe at level 8, he's going to add the warrior front line again.
I think we're seeing the power of the Venom actually in a lot of these comps right now. That's something that is
strong.
It's another overlooked unit, but the actual single target burst that Venom offers is very good, as you said. And both Chuck and Bomberon are making use of it. The only person that is really having a great game right now is Jinsu, and Jinsu is the only player that really didn't need to have a great game. If Jinsu wins this makes the middle of the pack even tighter. Because he's the only one that has a significant point lead over anyone. And when I say significant, I believe he has only got a 2-point lead on the second place competitor.
But it's going to make it so close.
But if he gets first, this means that the middle of the pack is so much closer. So much closer.
Because the only position you can get to have a bigger, like... So you get 9 points for being first and then 7 down to 0. Which means that if that 9 points are going to be snuck by a player that's already leading, it's going to be, as you said, it's going to be way closer. Even more interesting if Jinso wins and then Angel of Death and Max somehow comes second and third. That would be crazy close for the rest of them.
Yeah, I think Max probably not in the best spot for that, but Angel of Devil is certainly looking pretty good right now.
True.
And for him getting top 4, he could definitely cause some upsets about who is going to position where.
Max does have a nice loot streak though. If he starts winning continuously here, he should have a good chance. He's just turning it around. I think he had a 9-round lose streak, so his economy should be looking really good. And 37% is also like kind of the perfect percentage you want to stop at. So he's in a good position if he keeps up here.
Tutu here is a lot of Hunter players, by the way. And is Tutu level 8 and has already found a Dark Spirit at round 18?
Yep.
Wow, Tutu. He's rolled down for this, though. I don't know how worth it that is. I think he's desperately looking for a 2-star Dwarven Sniper. I don't think his composition is particularly strong otherwise, though. I don't think he's in the best of spots.
Yeah, I think Tutu has been a little bit too much of undecided which way he wanted to go. He's kept a lot of feathered units on his bench for a long, long time, trying to go for feathered hunters, but instead a lot of the other ways you could build hunters with the full warrior front line and the marine bonus instead. So he actually went for that. Wow, Bruce has actually been doing quite badly the later rounds. It's actually down here in 8th place in terms of HP. Very interesting development.
Chuck actually ends up losing to Bruce in that round, however, though.
Yep.
Chuck still looking for Dragon Knight, still looking to try and get his Dragon Mage comp off the ground right now. He needs quite a lot, actually. He still needs a Tortola Elder. I think he needs a Flaming Wizard. There is still quite a few pieces of the puzzle for Chuck to find to combine this together to get the 6 mages that makes this composition strong.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. Chuck is a little bit all over the place here. Touch Champion, not the perfect unit for this comp. Heaven Bomber, also not great. Also, they've kind of fallen out at this point in terms of
round
how good they are.
Round 18, you're usually giving up those 2-star pieces for parts of your composition, you know?
If they're not very important for your kind of synergy. Like if they're Beast Wars, of course you're going to keep Tusk Champion. If you're doing Goblin Gamble, you're going to keep Heavenly Bomber. Clearly, but otherwise you got to transition out of them.
Gonna see Bruce here.
Witcher, man.
Yeah, dude, it's if you can get it 2-star, it can definitely carry you alongside the rest of your composition. Everybody is so low right now, though, apart from Jinsu. I mean, this is such a close lobby in terms of HP. Jinsu is the only player that is kind of steamrollering ahead right now.
Yeah, his comp looks so good too here. Yeah, he already has 2-star Siren, and Siren 2-star is perfect when you have the other best card. You really need that, as we've said many times before, that reduced damage, magic damage taken for your Fallen Witcher, and also Siren helps with the crowd control. So
Jinsu's also power leveling to level 9.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going for Rogue Guard. Maybe he.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why
exactly
not?
the same as previously.
Great, right? The sooner you find Rogue Guard, the earlier you're gonna get to replace that God of War and Red Axe Chief also. You really want to get a high level to get those better warriors. Already has a Doom Arbiter 1, but would like to have a Pirate Captain also.
Yes.
Pirate Captain also providing tons of crowd control, which is fantastic when you have this. Basically have trucks of DPS from Fallen Witcher.
And you get to level 9, you massively increase your chances of finding 4-cost units. And that's...
Angel of Death actually loses this creep round.
If you're playing a mage comp, which he's not, actually. But generally, this round and the Wild Wing Ripper are like the hardest rounds if you're playing a Mage comp. Wild Wing Ripper have got so much
the Dragon
HP.
round.
Yeah, Dragon round could definitely be an issue. Actually, to be honest, neutral rounds in general are hard for Mage comps.
True.
But I don't even know what Angel or Devil is playing. Is he doing a Disowned and trying to Goblin Gamble it on a round that he just knows that it's just not likely for him to get out of?
Possibly. He does have a lot of Goblins on his bench currently. He has had Goblins at actually all games, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Maybe that is the trend, going up to 9. So yeah, he does seem like he's going for Goblin Gamble. Also has a Priest Shield for the entirety of the game to, I guess, save HP as he is power leveling up to 9 to find his Devastator. So he is going down here, trying to roll for that Devastator.
Jaquan has gone for
Glacier Knights.
Glacier Knights. He did
6 Knights?
Yeah, he did say he likes the Knight synergy when we heard him talk earlier in his interview, and he's 6 Knights maybe to deal with the Dragon Mages that he's seeing.
Seems like he doesn't have a Dragon Knight yet, so he's going with the Aggressive bonus from the Soul Reaper so far, but we should see him at level 9, put in a Dragon Knight if he finds one. But yeah, it does face Boomerang here, and he is going to be able to defeat Boomerang. He does not have Dragon Knight 2 yet, and actually didn't seem so strong. Let's have a look at Boomerang on second place. That did lose a lot of health against Bruce. Let's lose against 5 units, and that is a Swordsman 3-star, so that's actually a lot of damage.
Yeah, Bruce has managed to find himself a very powerful unit to deal with these kind of people in the late game, and you can see that this is a big roll down now. He's also found himself a Totola Elder.
Finally is able to find a few mages here. Does cut most of his front line. This is a big transition for Boomerang. Where is his front line?
Yeah.
So he's gonna... No.
He's just got an Abyssal Guard and a Storm Shaman. This is a little... I mean, yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you.
I mean, this is about damage, but he doesn't have 6 mages, so I feel like he's going to struggle a little bit here.
He will, and this is really like a typical transition phase. You try to like roll down a bunch, you find your pairs, and then you try to figure out the best you can from what you have. And then next round, maybe he's going to change his front line, but it seems like he might have enough burst damage here to be able to... Oh, does get off another heal. That was so close to get that Argolin Knight.
Booked from Chuck to Tutu. We have got such a ridiculous spread of units. I'd love to see Tutu right now because he is in contention, obviously, for qualification. But if he were to get last place, that does knock him out. Realistically, he's going to have a really rough time trying to qualify from this. And like we said, he didn't really have a very strong Hunter composition. He did not have a 2-star Dwarf Sniper. I just think Hunters are so coin flip. If you can't find 2-star Dwarf Sniper, it's a really rough comp to make work, you know. And he doesn't have Pirate Captain. He doesn't have God of War. His front line is very lackluster. This is a tough spot for Tutu. I think
agree.
He's essentially hoping that whatever he gets given is going to give him his 2 stars quickly.
No, I completely agree. He actually doesn't have tons of upgrades overall. He doesn't have 2 stars in most of his things. I think that the nice thing you can do with Hunters is that you get a bunch of them 1-star early, and you kind of ride into having a good mid-game. But you want to develop your front line because that's the most flexible part. You can build a lot of good backlines with a good warrior front line. So if you don't find those dwarf snipers early, you can transition out of it.
Chuck also at 1 gold right now. He got absolutely flattened by Bruce, who's now got a very strong Beast Warrior composition, it looks like, at this point in time. But it is still close between... Like I said, from 3rd to last place right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you are 1 or 2 rounds from pretty much any of these guys for going out at this point in time. Chuck has actually got a lot of the units that he needs. I mean,
Angel of Death. Look at the Angel of Death. He did find that Devastator.
He found the Devastator. He's found the Devastator.
So Goblin Gamble complete, and it also has a 2-star death buff.
Did Chuck just get God of Thunder? I don't know if I need to double check this. He's got God of Thunder.
Yeah, he did.
He's got 6 mages. He has to sacrifice his front line of Pirate Captain.
Yeah. But as soon as he goes up to 9, he's gonna have a huge upgrade here.
But he's not running Dragon Mages. Like, he doesn't have Dragon Knight.
That you're right. He does have Venom instead, though, right?
Yes, he is running Venom instead.
So he does have the Dragon bonus, but he doesn't have Dragon Knight.
No.
Well, this is basically Auto Chess in a nutshell, right? You gotta do what you get.
Yeah.
You gotta be adaptable. And then maybe...
Tutu's out.
Yeah, Tutu's out, so he's not going to make it actually to the next round. I did not see that coming at all.
I don't think Tutu's going to make it. I think the problem is that hunters can be like that sometimes. They're weak if you can't make them roll up to the late game with your 2 stars and your items. And Tutu did really well with that amazing Fallen Witcher build, but I believe he placed badly in both of the other games that he's been in, so that's going to be a rough position for him now. I don't think he's going to make it, and that means that Angel or Devil, Max, and Tutu are likely the ones not making it through. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to double check once we get to the points after the game. And now it's between Chuck, Bruce, Yekwen, and Boomeron to try and catch Jinsu, because Jinsu is just not losing now. Jinsu is 100% guaranteed through.
He's in.
Yeah.
Fallen Witcher again is gonna maybe. It's a little early to say. It's only around 25, but he still has 100% life, so he's looking real good. He actually has only 1 warrior away from going for 6 warriors with that Fallen Witcher build, which is a super cool build. The only thing he's looking for is that Rogue Guard, right? That's the missing piece.
Just looking for the Rogue Guard, yeah.
And then he's gonna be unbelievably strong. Probably gonna remove the priest bonus at that point, I'd assume. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong.
He has almost got.
What do you think he's removing when he finds that? Maybe that Desperate Doctor?
Yes,
probably.
Potentially remove the Desperate Doctor. I would probably think about that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, or he could very easily go to level 10 if he wanted to and keep the Desperate Doctor for some reason if he wanted to.
Then you can even play with Berserker, right? If you wanted to
get rid of Red Axe, play with Berserker,
For example,
We're now watching Angel or Devil take on Max. Max has actually managed to build a very strong Feathered Hunter comp here. Not something that we've seen a lot of in this current meta, but Max has got the 3 stars to make it work. But you just don't have the damage to beat the Goblin gamble.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too much shield, too much armor, too much regeneration, and Feathered Hunter basically only has physical damage, so pretty rough matchup overall.
Angel or Devil, he took a load of damage from Jinsu. Look at the HP bars.
It's crazy.
This is so close. Chuck has got 2 rounds. Unless he faces up against the Beast Warrior, he's definitely got 2 rounds in him. From Bomberon, Angel or Devil, Bruce, and Max, they've really got 1 round or so in them unless they get really lucky and get a really close one. So
not only did Jinsu steal all the points from this group, he also stole all the health.
This is what happens when you have a high roller in your game, though. You generally, a bit like Beast Warrior, you generally tend to feel the pain a bit more.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. This is Max now taking on Bruce. Bruce he's playing what Reddit affectionately calls the boys. Which is where you just get 6 warriors and you hyper roll it, but it looks like
this is a 3-star Razor Claw though.
Yeah,
that is so strong at this point. Even I think that's going to be enough for Max to survive at this point. Or is it? Bruce does go out before Max. Max does claim actually survives this round, so he'll be fine.
Does this mean that Chuck is guaranteed through now? I think it depends, because he was 2 points behind a lot of the competition, but he's pretty strong right now. He's got the God of Thunder. We'd need to double check once we get out of this, but Chuck in a pretty solid position to get himself through to the next round, because Angel and Devil and Max are still in the game, so they haven't been eliminated yet. So they're taking points away from people that needed those points to be able to get through.
Yeah, it's actually crazy close, and as you said, those 2 kind of sinks, if you will, in this group is kind of making the point calculation a little weird as they're still in the game. Bruce and Tutu goes out early. So Chuck looking good, Jinsu is definitely in. G-Quen also looking good, I'd assume.
The God of Thunder doing some work for Chuck, but I don't think he's going to be able to beat the Knight player just on this round. But again, he did have that round cushion.
Boomerang almost goes out. Still at 1% here. Let's see if Max is going to be able to hold on yet another turn. Does get to play against Angel or Devil here.
I don't think he's
going to be out of here.
He's going to be out here.
Yeah, Max is going to lose. So Max is one of those players who were in the bottom 2 of this group, so it's not going to impact. He's not going to he wasn't able to get there anyways, but it is going to impact in the way that if he claims the spot over someone else, the point discrepancy is going to be larger between the ones that are still in the game.
Yeah.
So, but now we see Jinsu going up to 10. He's going to roll down, trying to find...
Oh, wow.
I was about to say Rogue Guard, but he does find Fallen Witcher instead.
He's going Glacier, Fallen Witcher.
Classic. Classic.
That is so much damage. I pity whoever has to face up against him in the next round right now.
It's true. It's true. So Boomerang on the cusp of being eliminated. Angel or Devil.
Angel or Devil's 100% out here because he's going up against that ridiculous build.
And Boomerang's barely
Boomerang's out.
And he's out.
That means Chuck gets third. I think that means Chuck qualifies for the next round.
I think so too. Angel Devil also going out, so Chuck should be in this. And I think G-Quinn also in that.
Yeah, G-Quinn is definitely in. Yi-Quinn is definitely in, I think. So Jinsu's 100% qualified. Yi-Quinn is definitely qualified.
Yep.
I think Chuck has qualified.
I think so also.
And I think the last person to qualify is probably Boomerang.
Yeah.
I think so.
I
think that is our set 4 coming out of this.
Are we going to see our first perfect game of the tournament?
I think we could.
100% live.
Look at Jinsu's composition.
It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely disgusting.
And in a good way.
In a good way. Yeah, in a good way.
I mean, just compare it to this comp. It's 2 levels higher. This is like not even perfect synergy. It's like, how? Yeah.
Is the moral of the story?
Yeah.
Play Fallen Witcher. Is that the moral of the story?
Well, this kind of been the story of this group, right?
Yeah.
Twice in a row, we have seen 2 Fallen Witcher players doing exceedingly well. So that's super interesting to see.
What I will say about Fallen Witcher on a very serious note is that one of the reasons that it can still be quite good is that no one contests it. It's an uncontested 3 cost, which means it's very likely if you're in a good position and you have enough economy to roll, that you're going to find a 3-star Fallen Witcher at some point.
Oh, and finds a 3-star Doom Arbiter also.
God.
This is just as good as it gets.
This is...
Please.
But there's no way...
Please find a Rogard. Please find a Rogard.
There is no way that you do not get a perfect game with this composition.
No.
There is just no way.
Yeah, you're not going to lose from here, and this is such a feat. And to follow up to what you said there earlier, I do agree with that. I mean, as I said previously, it's kind of, if you get Fallen Witcher comp to work, and you get all the units, it's like any other comp, but you just get them all.
And it's our first perfect game. It is our first perfect game of the tournament, and Jinsu
gave him a round of applause.
From South Korea.
Crushing it.
Unbelievable, and he definitely secures himself first out of this group. That is 100% guaranteed.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Absolutely.
And actually, you know, that's pretty important too. You know, we talked about it earlier. Not only winning, but winning with authority is a very good thing in this format because it plays into seeding in the next round. And we know that Hosanna won in Group A. So based on my personal knowledge of tournaments, that means that it's very likely that Hosanna and Jinsu, 2 players from South Korea, will not be in the same group, right, in the next round.
I think that's likely. I think that is
likely. That's a pretty big deal, right?
For South Korea especially. I mean, they've come here.
More chances to...
2 players consistently going through. I mean, it is a bit of a trope with South Korean players that they generally tend to perform well in esports.
Well deserved. It's accurate. That's truthful. A truthful trope.
Truthful trope.
But, you know, congratulations to both of these guys. They've played incredibly well.
Perfect game, too.
It has been fantastic to watch. And also, again, I love the fact that we had these Fallen Witcher builds. Is not something that you see every day.
I'm going to have to do it more often, too.
Something I got to leave this group with is that if there's anything that is proven in combination with the previous group, is that the metagame is shifting. I feel like I can say that something is happening with this metagame from mono, Dragon Mages, and Glacier Knights. Like, that's what we anticipated. And there's been so much diversity, so many cool things happening.
I think what I can say with certainty is the meta has become more aggressive.
Yeah.
I can absolutely say that with certainty. We're seeing Beast Warriors. We're seeing hardcore sort of warrior-based starts for a lot of people, even if that's not necessarily what they transition into. We are seeing much more aggressive meta. No longer can you effectively go, I'm going to lose streak to 50 gold, or I'm going to open fort to 50 gold and win the game through superior long-term economy game. That's not happening anymore.
Take the game by the throat,
you need to come out by round 4 and have some kind of early game plan that isn't just die as much as possible until round 13.
And I really hope that these players that love to go for Dragon Mages, I really want them to try to, you know, go back to having a 3-warrior backline. To just lose a little bit less health in the beginning and have a better chance against this aggressive metagame.
And here we have the match results from our 3rd and final game from Group B. Again, a best-of-3 overall, 2-2. It's kind of heartbreaking, man, because 2-2 won in Game 2, and this is the 2nd occasion today where we had a player win a round, win a match, but not make it through. So 2-2 not making it through. Spoiler alert, we're going to show the official standings in just a bit of who exactly is going to make it through. But there we see Bruce, Max, Angelo Devil, Bomberon, Chuck, Ken, and Jinsu with just the most ridiculous performance we've seen so far, at least this weekend. 31-0.
Yeah, that
Not
was
too bad.
An incredible game from Jinsu.
And that brings us to our overall standings. Your top four, very incredibly close. 2 players at 11, 2-2, and Bruce just barely not able to make it in, which means Jinsu, your number 1 seed. Then Yeken, Bomberon, and Chuck. Very international group there, all from different countries. So really cool to see a lot of representation across the board.
Unfortunately, none of our European qualifiers have made it through yet, so now we're relying on Psycho and Nudge to make it through on the next 2 groups.
No Europeans in this group,
Max came from the European qualifier.
Yeah,
though.
I think I see a Chinese flag right there. I'm gonna treat
I was counting him as a European qualifier, okay.
Only when it benefits you, my friend. That's the play. That's how you do it.
Isn't that the British way?
That's true.
That's true. Again, Jinsu with just such a dominant performance. His win with 22 points is, I think, 1 ahead of what Hosanna was able to win with. Hosanna won with 21, I believe. So really cool to see the South Korean players just
crushing it,
just doing crazy stuff.
If you remember what we said right at the start of the at the start of the round, right now, we said consistency is key.
Yeah,
you can win that 1 round, but if you are not consistent across all 3, you are not making it through. And although Chuck, he had his ups and downs, he was like shredded. He was consistently middling, top 3 or there or thereabouts, and that's the same with the players that have made it through right now. Everybody that has qualified has built something that was consistent across all 3 rounds, and that is the key to success here. I think you've just got to take what the game gives you. Don't try to force something that's going to try and get you first place, and I think that's what Dragon Mage used to do. It was like, I'm going to try and go for first place build. Build something that is just good. Consistent, good. Beast Warrior is one of those builds. Maybe this Fallen Witcher thing could work out, but at the end of the day, just take a build, don't force anything, and play consistently, because that's the way that we are seeing the players qualify right now.
Consistent is the name of the game, and it has been for a while, and yeah, it's good to see. I mean, a lot of people think there's tons of RNG in these kinds of games, and there's definitely an element of that, but you can really see some of the strongest showings is really fighting through. I mean, you can't just be greedy every round. That's going to put you sometimes in first, sometimes in 8th. That's not enough. We saw that in the previous group. We saw that in this group. You just got to do the middling finishes. Be happy with top 4. Don't have such an ego, and you'll do just fine.
Yeah, and again, talk towards the prize pool. If you get to the semifinals, it's $4,000 more. So everyone walks away with at least $4,000. At least the bottom 16 players that will be knocked out of the quarterfinals. But if you're able to make it to the semifinals, it's $4,000 more bucks, and then it just gets more extreme as the tournament goes along. Once again, first place, $450,000 that you're not splitting up. It's not a team game. It's all yours. So pretty crazy stakes on the line. And I know you guys were talking about just the approach and kind of the proper way to go into these quarterfinals. But I want to ask you guys about the semifinals. Now that we know 8 players who are advancing to tomorrow, how do they kind of change things up, or is it more the same? Are we going to see some studying of other groups that's going to influence?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think you don't go home now. You sit in the audience. You look at those other groups. You say, okay, I want to see what they're playing. I want to see who I'm up against. I think we've got a pretty clear idea. I think apart from these crazy Fallen Witcher builds that we saw coming out, the meta is pretty similar. Dragon Mages have fallen off because they're too hard to get to work. Beast Warrior is still good. Night Glacier is still solid.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you just wait and see if there's any surprises in the other groups. You get a good read on the meta over the next 6 games, and you go into tomorrow preparing as such.
Right. I think it really comes a testament to how aggressive this format is. That previously, as it wasn't so aggressive, you could really force a build because you could wait for it to come together, because then you will get that spike you're looking for. But if you're pressured early game that you're gonna lose a tons of health, you can't just force a build. You gotta take what you're given, right? It doesn't work to just go for one thing.
And that shows a better player, really, who can be the most malleable based on what's given to them and still lead that to success.
Most definitely.
Really fun to watch all this unfold, and we're at halftime. So we're halfway through the day. We're 2 quarterfinals down, 2 more quarterfinals to go. Who's hanging out on the next segment with me?
Me and Cameron, I believe.
Sweet. So you're going to be back. You're going to be going backstage, probably doing a little bit of observing. But
that's right.
It's been a pleasure so far hanging out with you guys, and I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the day. So we're going to take a little bit of a longer break here. We've had literally like 30-second to a minute breaks up to this point. But this time, 10 minutes, I think, is the break we're looking at. So now you have time to maybe use the bathroom, maybe microwave yourself some ramen or something, and join us in the second half of our quarterfinal action. You're watching the 2019 Auto Chess Invitational $1 million prize pool. Our next quarterfinal will be coming up in 10 minutes.